Hi guys, if you're looking for a cheap way to put in food plots and you don't have any equipment, you're going to love this video. We're going to go out and visit a client of mine's place who's got deer and turkeys all over his fields every night, and he uses no inputs. He buys cheap local seed. He has no equipment. He doesn't believe in spraying. He doesn't have any seed drill, and once in a while he'll borrow a tractor and use a disc, and that's about it. So you're gonna love this, and stick around to the end and I'll give you a tip on how to get a new food plot planted in the fall without purchasing any seed. Okay, so hairy vetch, and what was the rate here?
I put 100 pounds, and this is about, let's say this is a 3-acre field. So
You put 100 pounds?
Put 100
on 3 acres?
On 3 acres.
Oh, so it's pretty heavy. What else was in the mix?
Okay, so it's hairy vetch, daikon radish, crimson clover, cow peas or winter peas, oats, triticale, and there's one more I can't think of.
I'm thinking that, oh, this is your
Crimson.
So these seeds are the crimson clover, and that's what it looks like when the, it's gone to seed now. These are all ripe. So what you could do here is just run a disc harrow through this and it'll all be reseeded.
Yes. And you can see that the triticale, it's just about ready to seed out. It's starting to dry up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it's ready. Let me see what happens when we... Yeah, it's still a little doughy. Not quite ripe. So you're gonna wait until that ripens, and then just, you're gonna mow it, right?
I'll probably just roll this and,
Okay.
or in some fashion. Oh, the Marshall rye grass was the other one.
Oh, get a picture of this. See? Predators in the ecosystem. Butterflies, ladybugs, bees.
And just look at the heavy mat.
When you stop and look, you don't really notice sometimes. There's several different kinds of butterflies just going all over the place in here. All right, so how many deer are coming in here and laying fawns?
I would say at least 10.
Great fawning cover. And the does come out of the woods, feed their fawns, and feed all night, and then they go back to the woods and leave the fawn out here.
Yep.
So another reason not to mow it too early. But you can see that the whole benefit to the hairy vetch, as far as your soil health, there's some deer poop right there, is that once you mash this down and that's dry, and you don't want to spray, but if you were to roll that and then spray it with some glyphosate, even at a light rate, it'll just have a nice straw mat on the soil, and then rot down over the winter, and you'll have a great seed bed. Keep the moisture in. This is pretty dry. We could use some water. But if you go down like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, there's moisture down there. And if you were to check your soil temperature would be good. Where if you went through here and plowed this, it would just be so hot that nothing would want to grow there, and you couldn't hold any moisture. So. Now the other option would be to graze this with cattle, right?
Yes, which cows will eat this hairy vetch. They'll eat every...
Deer don't like it that much, but cows like it. And what's great about cows is they can convert all this into manure, put it right back into the soil. And if you were to mob graze this through, not eat it all down to the dirt, but really chew it down and then move the cattle off, again, you'd have a seed bed, or you could roll it. But I like using animals to terminate last fall's crop, and then, you know, you just recycle everything.
In regards to that, Steve, so am I mistaken? I think when you graze it, the animal manure puts more phosphorus.
It's all more available.
Bioavailable, yeah.
Yeah. And there's something about the operation of the cow's hooves. I don't know what it does, but man, like you have all this ripe seed, right?
Yeah.
They go through here and they mash everything down, and they just their hooves are actually planting that seed in the soil, just like, you know, if you had a brilliant seeder or a seed drill, and then they let sunlight down to it by taking this canopy off and eating it, recycle it back. It's very quickly available to the soil, and they will actually a lot of these hard seeds like the clovers, if they eat them, it'll just come right out the other end and it's planted. But they're not going to eat this now because it's dry. But I don't see any peas in here.
Let's walk up here a little bit. Okay.
Okay, so where there's a little bit less canopy, you got some Austrian winter pea, and this came through the winter really well. Got a little stemmy, but you know, the deer are eating all the new growth. Look at that.
Isn't that something?
And the beauty of it is it stays alive. You plant that, when did you plant this? Like
last fall.
In September, right?
Yeah, September, yep.
So September, it's providing food all through the winter. Like deer can dig down through the snow and get this stuff, and it always comes up in the spring, and it grows all summer, which a lot of these fall annuals, they're not really palatable, like wheat, for instance. You plant wheat at the same time, but after spring is over, early spring, it's not palatable to deer anymore, but this stuff is. So, and it always grows everywhere I've planted it. The worst conditions, everything else fails, this stuff grows.
Yeah, and like we were talking earlier, I almost think it would be better like throwing another 50 pounds of those into the mix.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on heavy so that, you know, every couple of feet there's another plant. I'm going to go with at least 50 pounds in a mix so that it's there in the spring. Because that'll take you right through till next fall when you plant it again.
Yeah.
I think it's just the best thing ever. It grows everywhere. You know, we were talking about sunflowers earlier. You know, I planted sunflowers in 3 sites. Did get 1 sunflower. Yeah, I don't know. Now you have better soil and site conditions than what I have up on the mountain. Look at this one. It's just, this thing got all it actually got chewed right off. And then it the tendrils caught onto another plant and it stayed alive. I don't know, it's still nice and tender and green. Look at that. There's brand new growth there.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to go to flower. These make beautiful flowers too. There's ragweed here.
Yep, deer eat ragweed.
Yeah, at certain stages.
Yeah.
In the fall, they eat ragweed.
So will cows. They'll eat it.
Yeah. So pretty good field. I would probably tone down the vetch and up the peas. Yeah, so what we were just talking about, John, is that if you grew this and you just took a disc harrow and you went over it at this point,
Yeah.
you'd probably eliminate the hairy vetch and the rye, because the rye isn't ripe yet, and you would end up, since the crimson clover has gone to seed, you could disc this, roll it, And by fall, you'd have a clover plot.
Yeah, and it comes in full.
And you wouldn't have to buy any seed. You don't have to till. So what we were just looking at was the fact that, you know, you pull up a plant. Look at that, I didn't get any dirt with that one. But you get down in here and the soil, like that root, is cool. And the soil is cool and moist. And it was high 80s yesterday. It's supposed to be 90 today. I think it feels like it's 90 today. And that soil is probably 70 degrees.
Yeah. It's cool to the touch, so it's...
Yeah, it feels cool and moist. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe button and click on the bell so you'll be notified when there's a new video. And comment down below and let me know if there's anything you'd like to know more about.